this is worse.
The clarification I needed is 21st of May of which year? 2024? Or this year, last year?
2025.
2025?
Yes.
Governor, how many exchequer releases have you received since that time? And you don't seem bothered that you need to refund this money.
Governor, just 1 minute. We appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, I don't like lying because you see, if the money didn't go to my pocket,
you actually don't have a choice.
Then I have no reason.
Are you not under oath? And you are appearing
yeah, but
before...
people lie under oath, Senator Sifuna.
No.
We've seen people mislead this house under oath.
No,
I've been here and I've seen us misled even by somebody under oath.
Chair, the only clarification I want to make, Governor should not feel like honesty in the House of Parliament is a favor you're doing at.
No, I'm not doing a favor. I'm doing what I should say.
You're not special. You are under oath and you have an obligation constitutionally to tell the truth.
But that is exactly what I've done. Are you disappointed
Governor,
that I talked the truth?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you cannot
It
claim
looks like he's disappointed that I talked the
claim
truth.
it as a badge of honor. You're expected to tell the truth.
Order.
It's an honor to give you the truth,
Please, don't
Senator.
claim it as a badge of honor. You are expected to tell the truth. You are under oath.
But I didn't do so. It is you who is saying so.
Governor,
I didn't say so.
Could
Senator,
you address Senator Sifuna through the chair?
Now he's harassing me.
No.
Chair,
I will make that determination. If I feel
he's now harassing me.
You are harassing the chair by talking when the chair is talking. Please listen to me. I started by appreciating your honesty.
Thank you.
Because other people would have claimed that the money went into general budget support. You have made our work easy. That you raided the KIPES account to finance a border function. And that honesty is important. And members, for us, now it is upon us to make our determination and to make our recommendation. Just 2 days ago, we had a similar case where they raided the deposits account to finance a housewarming for the Speaker's residence. So, I mean, it's just same thing, maybe different flavors. I think, members, let us make a determination on this. The ruling that we gave 2 days ago must be the ruling that we give on this, on the illegality and the fact that such borrowings cannot be accepted, particularly if it's money that came through the hands of the Senate, because we know KIPES and we know the fight that has been there. We know the fight that we have put up so that that money is not withdrawn at the center. So I don't think any protracted argument is going to change the facts. It was an illegality. It was to be refunded, but even that refund would not cure the illegality. That refund was not done, but now we have an idea on what the money did. It was not for Mandazi, it was for borders. But
Chair, that clarity on, because we are aware how many exchequer releases have gone to Embu County since May of 2025. We need an explanation as to why refunding this money to KIPES is not a priority, including, Chair, when we were in Mombasa just recently. The Treasury showed us a disbursement schedule, and I believe there was money that was released to Embu County this month. So how is it not a priority to refund something? And it is you've already broken the law. You are not in any hurry to repair the damage that has been done from a legal perspective.
So Governor, perhaps it would be neater, either you or your officers, now that the refund has not been done, to give us some commitment to which we can hold you accountable.
Chair, I'm promising you with the release that we have right now, because there's some release that came, we are going to fully refund the 10 million.
Okay. So then members, as we are doing our report and sending
Chair,
our report to the House, will determine what to do with the illegalities.
Chair, also, we realized that it was an illegality, and I want to promise that going forward, that is not going to happen again in Embu County. It's the first time we did it, I think under immense pressure, but we will never do it again.
I think that's good.
I want to promise that going forward.
That's good enough in terms of a submission. We will, when we are writing our report, we will determine what to do with that illegality.
Chair, there is a difference between somebody who breaks the law, not knowing that they are breaking the law, but somebody who knows this is illegal and they go and do it, and then they come and tell us here stories about honesty. Those ones must be subjected to even more severe punishment than the people who do break the law out of ignorance of the law.
The power.
These are those criminals who know they are breaking the law. These ones, remember.
The power is in our hands.
They say so the law is no excuse.
The power is in our hands, honorable senators, and that is why I said today we are not doing an audit. Today we are establishing the facts so that we can recommend the action that must be taken. Senator Mundigi.
Yangu ni kusema mnajua saini saa saba ni wakati wa njaa imeingia. Sasa rafiki yangu ako juu, gavana ako juu. Mimi naomba dialogue.
Mimi siko juu.
Sawa. Mimi naomba dialogue kwa sababu gavana wamekubali pesa ilitumika na ni makosa imepatikana. Ile kitu muhimu katika ulimwengu ni mambo ya dialogue. Bora gavana apatiwe time aende arudishe pesa before muweke recommendation. Bora tu ni yeye aseme atakaa muda gani kama amerudisha pesa. Hiyo ni kitu kidogo. Yes, makosa ilifanyika.
We have undertaken, we are going to refer that money immediately. It goes through the COB.
Okay. No. We need to close this. I need to provide guidance that Senator Mundigi is, you're a friend of the committee, not a friend of the governor in this current setup. So don't forget that. Asante sana. Can we proceed to the next one?
Maybe just on the appendix 1 on prior year matters is what will happen. Maybe the OAG can guide us. How do we track now that the governor has given a commitment that the 10 million will be returned? Yes. And I'm surprised by the gentleman who said this cash management. You know, unless I need to know what is the qualification of that gentleman. And secondly, can you direct that the OAG maybe in the next 90 days to give us feedback whether this money has been taken back to special purpose account? And finally, to ask Mundigi, this is a constitutional process under Article 229. There is no place for dialogue. Dialogue, we can do it in the village, but here is Article 229. Consideration.
No, okay. I think we need to proceed. We have had enough information on this matter for us to be able to do a recommendation to the House. Let's go to the KEMSA debt and reconciled KEMSA debt. OAG, you had updated that this has now been reconciled.
Yes, Chair.
So let's not spend too much time on it. On voided transactions, there were 862 transactions amounting to 313 million that were voided. OAG, we had asked you to confirm whether the voided transactions related to approvals that had been granted by the Controller of Budget.
Chair, I wish to confirm that the voided transactions had not been approved by the COB.
Okay, so honorable members, unless there's a residual matter on that, we had gotten the brief earlier, we can proceed to the next section on emphasis of matter. We shall take note of budgetary control and performance and go straight to pending accounts payable. Here, I think we'll spend a few minutes because it is a matter of concern. OAG.
Thank you, Chair. Pending accounts payable. Review of the budget revealed that an amount of Kenya shillings 100 million was allocated for the settlement of pending bills against a total outstanding balance of 2,207,376.10 shillings, disclosed in the audited accounts for the year ended 30th June 2024. An analysis of the aging schedule of pending bills revealed that the current year payables balance total to Kenya shillings 1,560,148,304, while the outstanding payables balance for the last financial year was Kenya shillings 1,521,621,076. This represents 38,527,228, or 3% increase in the pending bills from the financial year 2023-2024. Further audit review of the payable schedules revealed that as at the end of the third quarter of the financial year, the outstanding balance of the accounts payable was Kenya shillings 1,748,082,570. This indicates that the payables were not settled as first charge of the budget. Failure to settle bills during the year in which they relate distorts the financial statements and adversely affects the budgetary provisions for the subsequent year to which they have to be charged. I submit.
Governor, your response?
The management has endeavored to settle the accounts payable through budgetary provision as well as deliver development to the residents with a total amount of 295,556,323 being paid out in the year under review. There was, however, an additional bill of 333,718,734.46 attributed to the shortfall in own source revenue. Appendix 3, movement schedule.
Auditor, what's your opinion?
Chair, we have two issues here. We wish to confirm with the COB if at all this the amount that was also, they have also captured in their books as outstanding bills for Embu. And number two, they need to give us the current status on how much they have paid.
COB, do you applied your mind to it?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
I wish to report that the County Executive of Embu, their pending bill is at 30th June of 2025 stood at 1.1 billion 746 million 909,550, and this pending bill has been broken down to recurrent and development. So recurrent was 822 million 724,897, and the development pending bill was 924 million 184,654. So making a total of 1.746 B. So this data is based on self-reporting by the entity. Thank you.
Chair, I'm a bit confused. The document that the governor has referred us to at Appendix 3 has totally different figures. The thing I noticed about that document, though, is that it doesn't have a date. Maybe the governor can clarify to us what is the date. There's no date on this Appendix 3. These figures are as of what date? Because the COB is giving us a different story. And secondly, if the governor can explain to us what she makes of the requirement that pending bills be a fast charge on the county revenue. What does that mean to her understanding?
Chair, in addition, if the governor can note down from the audit query that is here is that 2.2 billion, but 2.2 billion was the pending bill in the years under review. I've seen the budget revealed that an amount of 100 million had been allocated to pay yearly. So looking at even 1.7 billion that COB has alluded to, it will, if you allocate 100 million per budget, that payment of 1.5 billion will be paid longer until Senator Mundigi would have gone to retirement. So what strategy is the governor putting in place to ensure, because governor, I agree, this could be the pending bill of the previous governor. But you have to agree with me, there are many businessmen and women who are suffering because of this pending bill. You and me know that. So what strategy have you put in place to ensure, at least realistically, in the next 2 to 3 financial year, God willing, you will be re-elected, and I believe so, you are able to sort out this in 2 to 3 years, that is under the financial year. So this 100 million, don't you think it's too little for ensure that this 1.7 billion can be paid as of what the COP are saying? And I know you are businessmen and women of Embu are watching, especially the people you owe them. So what other strategy you are put in place? Can you at least increase this allocation, as Senator Sifuna says, this as the first charge in the allocations that we get? So, Chair, I yield back.
Chair, thank you very much. I think, let me start by stating that I inherited a pending bill of 2.2 billion. And the first thing we did was to form a pending bills verification committee to help identify which were genuine pending bills and which were not. And out of that, it went down to 1.4 billion because the rest could not be verified. Either there were no documents, or if you went to the ground to look at the actual work done, you'd find nothing has been done, yet somebody wants to be paid. So that has been, I think, a back and forth conversation between us and Council of Controller of Budget and OAG, because what they have is different from what we know to be the actual position. And I think it's an issue that has been discussed repeatedly in our IBEC meetings over the pending bills issue, saying, can we reconcile these pending bills, because we have also done our own internal audits to confirm what is genuine, what is not. Be that as it may, it's important that I say in the last 3 years, we spent substantial amount of money trying to clear these pending bills. We have paid, I had about 558 million pending bills of staff remittances that had not yet been remitted accordingly. We've been able to clear all that. We had heavy pending bills with KEMSA, and we were able to pay close to 300 million. We went further now to start paying the pending bills by individual contractors, which we still continue to pay, except that it's still a struggle, because at the end of the day, if I say that my development vote is anything between 1.7 to 2 billion on the maximum. So if I'm to focus purely on paying those pending bills, for sure, I'll never do anything in the county in terms of my projects and programs that I had promised my people. So it's usually a very tough balance between paying historical pending bills and still staying true to one's manifesto. And that is why this financial year we reduced it, because we realized we've been spending so much money trying to clear these pending bills in the past 3 years, but we don't seem to be going very far. And yet here we are, an election is around the corner, and I must deliver. So those are the challenges we have, but I want to undertake that we'll try and enhance this amount in the next financial year. I know what fast charge means. It means really we must give it priority, and we would want to do that, and we'll make sure we do a delicate balance between making sure our development agenda does not die off, as well as paying these pending bills, Chair.
Just off the top of your head, Governor, first, I needed clarity on the Annexure 3. It doesn't have a
yes,
date.
let me ask the Chief Officer, please, and your team, if you could clarify the dates.
As he answers, because you have painted a picture there that you need to balance between development and payment of these bills. Most of these pending bills actually arise from projects, which is what people interpret as development. Maybe you'll give us, what is the spread like in Embu in terms of how much, what percentage of your entire revenues are you utilizing on development, and what percentage are you at with recurrent expenditure?
Through the Governor, Chair, we comply with the requirement of the 70-30% rule of the PFM. Thank you.
So just give the figure, give the average percentages.
Average percentage.
Last financial year.
The absolute or the percentage?
Percentage.
Percentage.
The percentage, the actual or the budgeted?
My brother, how much, what percentage of the revenues of your county do you use on development in the last financial year?
30%.
So 30% is going to development, 70% to recurrent?
Yes.
The picture might be different, Prof. Looking at your financial statements, 33% goes to compensation. You've got a huge chunk that goes to health facilities. In fact, there's a huge surplus at the bottom, which we must put into context. But from the question of Senator Sifuna, I think he's trying to find out whether employee cost is putting pressure on you.
Certainly.
But it is not.
Certainly, I found it at almost 52%.
At 52.
Yes.
So now it is at 30. Is 33 the correct?
If you say, I mean, it's still there, because you can't go sacking people.
No. Let's get the exact percentage, because the numbers here indicate 33. But is that
what? 33 for what?
On compensation? Is that the reality?
PE, you mean?
Yes.
When you say compensation?
Yes, compensation of employees. Your financial statements
It
here.
is not that, no. We have a huge wage bill that has been there since I came in.
Now, what is the percentage? Give us that percentage.
52% thereabout is where we are.
But you see, Governor, it must be supported by the numbers you have here in your financial statements. When we are getting our brief from the Auditor General, we reflected on it. Your total revenue is 5.3 billion. Your employee cost is 1.78 billion. That is 33%.
And Chair, in
I think
addition
there's
to what
something
you
that's
are...
not right.
Maybe
These are your numbers.
Let me clarify.
Let
Yes?
the Chief Officer.
Yeah, the first thing to clarify is this Appendix 3 is a schedule of movement of payables as per what was queried by the auditor, and this pending bills that belonged to our suppliers. And what we are
That was not the question. As at what point? Those figures are as at what date? You are
as at 30th June
you are an accounting
2025.
professional.
Yes,
How can
yes,
you put
yes.
out a movement of pending bills without a date?
It is as at 30th June 2025 as per the narration.
So the COB's figures are wrong, or your figures are wrong.
I think what the Senator's frustration is a clerical error on your side. You have this
What
Appendix 3.
I want to clarify the difference between COB.
Wait a minute. You have this Appendix 3 where none of the columns, none of the rows has a year or a date. It's, I hope you have seen what the problem is.
Okay, yeah.
It is an omission on your side.
On date, yes.
And I think you just need to accept and move on instead of trying to over-explain.
Accepted.
Okay, proceed.
The other issue is
Chair, interestingly, what is the qualification of this gentleman who is here with us, and how long has he been serving in Embu? Because he wants to allow us to be on a wild goose chase in every question. Who is he? Can he just introduce ourselves properly so that we handle him at that level?
Okay.
And give us ISPAC number so that we the goodness is we have a representative of ISPAC here. Because every question he asks, this guy should be a very good politician because he dodges every question. He avoids every question.
I hope you're not referring to yourself.
No, I'm not referring to myself. I'm saying he has a tendencies of some politicians, which I'm not included.
Now, I think I have a duty to protect the witnesses, but it is not an unfair question for the senator to ask who is this person addressing us. I think we are done introductions. Maybe just reintroduce yourself for that comfort.
I'm a qualified certified public accountant, and we ISPAC number 9050, and I have my FERA satisfied accountant.
No, talk about yourself. Leave others out of this.
And
Fine. So you're a member of ISPAC. ISPAC is here, so they will take a decision on whether these clerical errors are indicative of professional negligence. But I think let's proceed. Let's go beyond the gentleman.
So the other clarification, Chair, was those figures between what we have reported as a schedule. Here we were responding to the query of the auditor, and these were the suppliers. That is what was queried, and we also note the COB report on global figure, which includes other liabilities or other payables like not statutory staff deductions. So that is why the differences were there. We were responding to what was queried.
Are you also able to address the issue of
the percentages?
No. Let COB, you want to respond to that first before you go to percentages?
COB, thank you, Chair. I'm just having a problem with the numbers because if I look at the governor's response on the amount of pending bill they have settled, it is substantially differs from what has been reported to the COB.
I agree with you, Gashanja. The numbers don't tie. Even if you look at Note 32B, Note 32B, which should be the authority in your financial statements on these movements and on the actuals, the numbers don't tie. Isn't it in Note 32B that you have explained trade and other payables? Isn't that where you are supposed to find the pending bills?
Yes, Chair.
And if you look at the numbers there, they don't tie to any of the numbers that the governor has read.
No.
And so at the end of this, we'll put the question, what was your actual pending bills as at the close of that financial year? Because the COB has a different number, you have a different number, the financial statements have a different number, the budget also had a different number.
So, Chair, we will undertake to reconcile those documents. We will undertake to reconcile those documents.
No, there must be a reason why they're not trying. You as an accountant,
no, there was
this financial statement.
The only explanation is timing difference, because you could see there were some processes we made after the year closed. Because of that window that we are usually given by the Treasury. So
and that is why you didn't put a date on this document, so that you can give us that clever explanation. Because we are talking about the close of a financial year, which is a definite date. The same date that the COB is using, the same date that is in the financial statements.
Yeah, Governor, you are just a minute, just so that we agree on the numbers that perhaps you're querying. Assuming that your numbers in Appendix 3 are the numbers that you own. Are these the numbers that you can support, the ones in Appendix 3?
Yes, yes, yes.
Then you have numbers in Note 32B, which were certified. That is 1.7 billion. Your number here is 1.5 billion. So which one do we use?
And I've explained this sendo is for suppliers. The difference is other payables, and I've only stated that there were payables.
The total for suppliers here is 1.527.
Yes, yes.
1.527,
yes.
Not 1.56.
Yes.
So you still have a gap of 33 million.
Also, Chair, see even the confusion, Governor, look at the title of that document, Appendix 3. You have not made that distinction that this is only for suppliers. You have said summary analysis of pending bills movement, which in my layman's understanding, I'm not an accountant, is a summary of all pending bills.
We have indicated it is suppliers, and we were responding to the auditor's query.
Look at the top there after Embu County government. Can you read it for us, unless...
It is the title.
What is it saying?
As per the auditor's query.
Read the title.
Summary analysis of pending bills movement for suppliers.
My friend, you are going to cause yourself problems, and you are going to misuse our time. Just 3 minutes ago, you accepted that there is a clerical error here, and you continue arguing as if this is a perfect document. Do we take this as a perfect appendix, or you are owning up that there are some descriptions that were omitted? Because that's Sifuna's frustration.
Okay, some descriptions not correct.
Yes, so you don't be defensive when your own document has a clerical error. Ispak, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, Chairman, I saw the line he was taking that it will open even more queries, because the schedule that has been given here, if you compare with that, the financials on page 2, then we are having a figure of 15,521, which is captured here as opening. So if we go further, we'll say now the closing they have given here is as 1560, as at what date? So I see a gap. Maybe we just close on that topic. It has a lot of gaps that maybe the county and the auditors here will have to address.
So, is that normal within your profession?
It's not.
Okay, so what is the figure? What figure do we take, what do we report to the House as the total, nowadays they're not called pending bills, nowadays they're called trade and other payables, isn't it?
Yes, Chair.
So what figure do we take to the plenary as the closing trade and other payables for Embu County as at 30th June 2025?
1.74, the one that is in the statement. 1.748082,570. The one in financial statement.
What is in the financial statement? Just read that again.
1 1,748,082,570 as per in the auditor statement.
Just a minute. That is which one? Which statement is that, CEO? Your statement of financial position has trade and other payables at 1.527 billion. And that excludes the staff payables of 177 million. Isn't that correct? That's what you're trying to explain. So what should be the closing balance? You are not supporting that entry has a closing balance of 1.704 billion. And we are not being petty, because a difference of 20 million or 10 million could be pending bills for 20 people. So what is that number? Because it can't be a moving target. This is like election results. It can't be today it's 1.704 and tomorrow it's 1.784. What is a number? And I'm surprised you're deviating. I don't know whether you restated your financial statements, because what I have here is 1.704. You have read 1.7 something else.
We can confirm that the auditor has read 1.746.
Auditor, where did you get 1.746 from?
And ours was 1.748.
Where is your, when you say yours, where is it? Which entry, which page is it on the financial statement? Because we are looking at the auditor's report on your financial statements. Auditor, where does your number come from, if it didn't come from here?
Chair, our figure is 1,748,082,570. The 1,446 is for COB.
So your figure, where does it come from?
Financial statements.
Where? Which one? Which entry? Because I'm looking at trade and other payables.
When you go to the financial statement of position, page 2, numerical 2. We have 3 items there: the trade and other payables and refundable deposits and prepayments. If you add those two, should give you 1748,082,570.
Sorry, which one do you add?
The trade and other payables, that is not number 32, 1564,615, 483, plus refundable deposits
15 what?
1,564,615, 483.
Then we have different financial statements. We have different numbers.
Chair,
This here is
ours
1.527.
27 and 1.521. So we have to.
Are we looking at the same? Because this is a financial statement that was attached to the report of the Auditor General.
Maybe.
Kindly, we are trying to get into our system, but our VPN is not working, so we are working off.
But our clerk can give you the soft copy. Can you send them?
Okay, fine. Members, I think
Chair, there is
there's
a question Governor did not answer about the strategy in place to offset this pending bill.
Yeah, actually, that was the next question. That the auditor was saying you had provision 100 million every year.
Every year.
So it would take you 20 years to hear this.
We can look at that, because we were asked to share a plan of clearing of pending bills, which we did some time back. But we can review that in the next budget and see how much more we are able to bring in to pay the pending bills, Chair. But I may not be able to give a certain figure right now. But
the budget was 100 million.
Yes, we had put 100 this financial year, but previously we've been putting larger sums of money, Chair.
Senator
Chair,
Sifuna,
just wanted
Senator
our clerks to, if it is possible, to retrieve the motion that was passed by the Senate on pending bills. There was, I think, a requirement and a deadline for payment of pending bills up to 1 billion Kenya shillings.
Up to?
That
1 billion.
1 billion shillings. There was a deadline that was imposed by the Senate. I hope Kina Malcolm can get it. And secondly, it would have been nice, Chair, I don't know where we can get a breakdown of those pending bills. Because some of these small businesses will be very interested in the conversation that has happened here. That when there is pressure for border events, money will be found, including raiding accounts illegally. But these small pending bills, and I would want to see even the aging analysis for these small businesses. They will be asking, why can't we be given priority as well, just like these functions are being given priority?
Chair, let me report here, and I think it's important.
Just a minute. Let me. I might give you an
statement.
Governor, relax. 2 days ago, we were here with the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board discussing the accrual basis of reporting. And it emerged that whereas under cash basis, you would have an annexure with all the pending bills, under this reporting format, we don't have that visibility. So Senator Sifuna's concern is something that we had already escalated to the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, that we want to see the details. So I think before the governor becomes defensive, I just wanted to say that it is something that we have flagged with the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, that the Senate wants to see the detailed schedule of people who are owed money by county governments. So I wanted to make that clarification. Now you can...
Yes, I wanted to say, Chair, that we have been paying pending bills. Actually, we prioritize the small, because it was easier to deal with the small pending bills than the huge ones. And we, in fact, in the task force report, the report of the pending bills verification task force, they did propose that we consider, paying by way of age and also the amounts. And so they had said, try and clear these small ones first so that you have less in terms of the long list that was there. And that's what we've been trying to do, to make sure at least we pay as many as we can, and then making sure within our own term, we avoid those pending bills altogether. And so we've been very clear in making sure that we pay up what needs to be paid up by and giving it all the priority.
No, Chair, just clarity. I want to just on a closure, because this 1.7 billion, maybe since this standards board, we cannot have a view. Would it be not also, if we get the aging analysis of this pending bill, so that it makes our work easier when we are doing the report writing, to include recommendation. Finally, I've heard the governor alluding to the verification pending bills committee. Chair, I would want to know, because we have had COB are saying 1.7 billion. I've looked at the financial statements, although the OAG is consulting of 1.5 billion. I would want to know whether in that report, although the governor has not attached here, in that report of the pending bills of 1.7 billion, is there pending bills that were legible or ineligible, or do they agree with what the financial statements have provided? And finally, who are these that were doing verification pending committee? Because we are aware there was a decision in Kitale Court where the power of verification of these pending bills, or now it's called trade and trade and other payables, it was ruled that the Office of the Auditor General is the only one with the powers to do verification of this pending bill. So I don't know whether you have come around with your county attorney, but
we've had this conversation in IBEC so many times that although the Auditor General did come up with a report of pending bills across the counties, many counties had concerns about some of those pending bills, because in our case we visited project by project, one by one. So where there's nothing to pay for, why are you telling me that I should pay if I can't see it on the ground? those were the issues we've been raising. And maybe this committee might help us really unravel this pending bills discussion so that we know, do we do a second round where we go on the ground with them and confirm what we saw? Because then why am I paying for something that I have no proof of, or something where there's no document at all to support what it is you're paying for? So that has been a conversation many times, but we have never really gotten to the bottom of it. And perhaps this committee should consider, taking some action along so that we have some convergence of mind in relation to what really is a pending bill and what can a county pay for.
Governor, technically, this matter was brought to a close this financial year. When you move to accrual, you are to define your liabilities. And in your financial statement, I can see you have assumed your liability in lieu of trade payables to be 1.722, or whichever figure it is, because we are not agreeing on the figures. What I'm trying to say is that by the time these accountants put that amount as a liability in your balance sheet, ideally you cannot run away from it. Ispak, am I on the right track?
Show of it, because let me give you an example, Chair.
No, just a minute. Let's get because this year we are looking at balance sheet. We have not looked at the balance sheet for the last 10 years. Now your accountants have introduced 1.7 billion points with those small differences in your balance sheet. Technically and legally, it becomes a liability.
Yes, Chairman, it is indeed, and that's why the accountants are given some time so that they can be able to review their financials up to 30th August. So when now it comes to this issuance of certificate, we take it as it is, that they have gone through the verification process and certified that this is the true position.
So technically, the matter is resolved that even if the governor wants to do another verification, she'll be verifying the competence of her accountants.
Basically, that is the position, Chairman.
That is where we are this financial year. In the past, we could talk about these things, but now that you have gone accrual, what you have put in your balance sheet as a liability, you must live with it.
Chair, I understand the dilemma that the governor is in, and we have had these conversations with your colleagues from across the other counties on this verification process. And the advice we've given previously is maybe you pay attention so that
could we get your attention so that
Sorry. Yes.
yeah, the other resolution we made as a house is that you do not begin any new projects until you're able to clear your pending bills.
That is killing us, honestly.
Just a minute. I am just taking you through the resolution, and we did write to you as a house. I have not seen a letter from you saying you are killing us. I don't know why you are telling me now. Governor, that was the resolution of the Senate, not Sifuna, the House. And we communicated this resolution to you, we have not heard from you, either individually or as a council of governors, saying that the resolutions of the Senate are not implementable. You see? That is the sort of relationship we would want with the council, is such that if there is issues like those, you communicate. So I wanted you to confirm. Are you in compliance, first of all, with the resolutions of the Senate as a county government?
Certainly not. I am not, because to tell me that I cannot start any new project until I clear pending bills, and the practicability of it is not possible, because you know, I came in on some promises, on an agenda, and that must be a priority, both to me and the people who voted for me. So to tell me that first pay the pending bills, and if I have a development budget of 1.3 billion, 1.5 billion, then I have to first pay some 2 billion, then is really crippling the work of government. And so that's why I'm saying we need to have very, very candid conversation around this issue. It's not enough to, and while we appreciate that the House, the Senate, you know, will pass resolutions, will pass motions, I think it's good that we have this conversation. And I must say, yes, I admit that I should have written back to say, I don't think this is possible because of 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't do it, and I think now I should. I will actually make sure I do so. But also say, Senator, you asked, have we communicated to these people? What we did after we did the verification, we had a presser, and also we posted that we now have done this. We have some verified pending bills. We are those that are not fully verified because certain documents are missing. Please, if you look at the report, and because we communicated the report also, come and bring the documents. Then, and some people actually brought documents thereafter. So yes, we did communicate, but let me say we didn't do individually to the different contractors.
Now, I've gotten feedback from the OAG about this confusion in numbers. OAG, what is your guidance on the numbers that we should rely on?
We rely on the numbers which are in the financial statements. Although our query was based actually on their own schedules that they had provided to us. We were comparing what was outstanding as at the end of 30th June 2024, which was 2.2 billion. And from their own analysis of the aging analysis provided by the county, the schedule had current payable balances of 1.1 billion 560, 148,304, while the outstanding payables balance as the last financial year was 1 billion 521, 621, 076. These are trade payables. This represented an increase of 38 billion. So we actually provided our report based on the analysis.
Yeah, you see, the numbers don't relate to what we have here. Did they resubmit their financial statements?
No, the figures that are there are correct. What we reported on was their analysis, the nitty-gritties. Okay. The analysis provided by the county.
Fine. Let's not get lost in the trees. Let's go back and look at the forest. And I think that the first recommendation we must make is that there has to be a reconciliation. Numbers must be consistent, whether it's COB or OAG or the entity, so that we have an exact number, even if it's a variance of 200, 300, but it cannot be a variance of tens of millions. Number two, Governor, I will repeat this. The fact that your accountants have introduced 1.7 billion in your balance sheet, you must go back and confirm that that is the amount that should be there, because once it is there, I don't know how it can move. ISPAC, once you have 1.7 billion as a liability, it can only move if it has been paid. Not verification, payment.
Yeah, payment.
Yeah, so
or write-off.
Or write-off. So once you have assumed 1.7 billion, then the stories of we are still verifying technically does not suffice. So go back, have that conversation with your team, so that you can agree that that is a liability you are carrying. Thirdly, compliance with the resolution of the Senate. We are going to make a similar recommendation, and within 60 days, we'll require you to do what Senator Sifuna has asked, to write back to us, to tell us that you have complied, and if you cannot comply, give us reasons why. Fourthly, you must scale up your ambition, and I think you have also agreed that 100 million a year might not resolve this problem. So we'll leave that to you in your supplementary, your budgeting, your county assembly, because you had said you have your priorities and your programs as a governor, but those priorities and programs must also be consistent with the law that requires spending bills to be a fast charge, that requires staff payables to be settled, that requires retentions and deposits to be settled. So all those must be consistent. I think those are some of the broad recommendations you're making on this. But before we close it, I want Senator Mundigi maybe to point us to what we have left out.
Okay, asante Chairperson. Senate kulingana na sheria inasema pending bill yote ilipwe. Nakumbuka hiyo tulikuwa tunang'ang'ana naye. Lakini hiyo ndio uliona sisi county zile 14 wakati tulikuwa nasema mtuongezee pesa. Embu iko na 4 sub counties. Sio kama Nairobi iko na sub county 11. Sasa wakati governor aliingia alikuta pending bill hiyo inasemekana 2.2, alafu unakuta hata wafanyikazi hawakuwa wanalipwa pesa juu ya pesa ya useni, ikawa kuna deni about 500 million. Ile najua hizo alilipa ndio wafanyikazi waweze kutulia kazini. Kwa hivyo ile pesa kulingana mimi najua governor anafaa alipe hizo pending bill, lakini najua atangangana kwa sababu mwaka huu mlifanya vizuri zile county 10, zile county nyingi kuwa ni moja wawe ile pesa tulipata. Najua kama Embu tumepata around 600 million. Kwa hivyo sio anatetea nearest, ilikuwa nearest. Sio anatetea nearest. Sio anatetea governor, lakini ni kusema budget inakuja. Chairperson, mpaka governor counties zile kidogo iweze kupatiwa pesa nyingi ndio iweze kumaliza pending bill, ndio tuweze kuendelea na mambo ya development. Kwa sababu counties zingine zinaumia. Embu County ilikuwa haina chochote, ilikuwa na shinda nyingi, na ndio naona tuko na changamoto ya shinda kwa hii mambo ya audit.
Mimi naona tusifungue mjadala. Naona tusonge mbele.
You know, Mundigi is reminding us of the things we have done to help these county governors to be able to deal with these issues. In fact, part of the explanation we got from the so-called smaller counties was that they would ensure, in fact the debate was how do we ring fence this additional money so that the people of these small counties can actually benefit, so that we don't end up again, you have added extra money, instead of us paying pending bills, we are hiring new staff and adding to the wage bill. So it is a critical conversation, and this week, Chair, we've been dealing with an issue here which you framed as contempt of parliament. It has reminded me of another conversation you had with the COG on this question of remittances to the council. Yes. That even after the Senate passed a resolution to say that those payments were illegal, the COG comes back to the Senate and says, this is something we cannot do. I think this is the second time that the COG is telling us that we sat as a Senate to pass resolutions in our own wisdom. We thought that this is something that is supposed to help and clog the problems at the grassroots, especially with pending bills. We are now hearing the governor is saying she's going to write to us now to tell us that we were not wise to pass things that cannot be implemented on the ground. Perhaps you should...
I don't think those are the words I would have used. I would not say...
Governor, order. Let's have a conversation. I don't want an exchange.
Yeah, let me just finish, Governor. You know, you are now interrupting my thought process. But the point I was making is, Chair, perhaps we need to trade places. You know, some of our colleagues here want to be governors.
reopen
I
the
will not.
debate.
I will not. I want to say the following, Chair. First of all, I hold the Senate with high regard because I have been a parliamentarian. And so the last person who would use some demeaning words to such a honorable house would be me. So for me, Senator, I would never write a letter saying how unwise you are. I would probably use a different language to explain myself and my circumstance. But let me say this, and I want to give an example. I found a total of 85 projects, health projects across the county that were at different levels of completion, mostly below 50%. We took up those projects. We have so far completed 32 complete. We have a budget this financial year where we are doing 29 to completion, and we intentionally decided that we will take up the entire project and make sure we complete it. So we allocated money to complete the 29. And out of the 29, currently 16 are ongoing. And so I would like to say that these are the struggles we've had. And sometimes you even find a particular project was really not necessary for that area because, you know, it's almost like building a dispensary for every village. But we still have decided, since they were done, started, and important for the people, let's complete them and operationalize them. Now, in the process of doing that, we are sorting pending bills, and we are even able to negotiate with the contractors who are in charge of some of those projects and telling them, continue, finish, as we try to look for money to pay whatever it is that is owed. So, and most of them have been completed through those negotiations and discussions. So we are not completely blind to the fact that we need to clear these bills, because some of these are projects that were important for the people. And that's why I've given the example of my health department that was, I think, the worst in terms of these pending bills and stalled projects, some for many, many years, and we are now completing.
I think, Governor, thank you for that. When you come back for the implementation follow-up, you will give us that account,
Yes.
and you'll also tell us which provisions of a resolution are implementable and which provisions cannot be implemented. And you know, that's parliamentary practice.
Yes.
When Parliament makes a resolution, it addresses it to the respective entities, and they have 60 to 90 days to write back. And if you find the resolution is not implementable, you have the duty, you have the space, you are allowed to write back to Parliament. So it's not something we are doing for the first time. That is parliamentary practice on resolutions, and we shall do that when you come back. So, honourable members, let's move. We've spent time on pending bills because it's a very, very huge amount, and it's a matter of great concern. Auditor, keep that in view, and clerks will frame our recommendations to ensure that there is accuracy in reporting. I want us to go to the next issue, which is still outstanding. Irregular extension of revenue collection and management automation system contract. Auditor General, you said some 3 million was paid via LPO number 66 and 76 without a formal recommendation from the Tender Evaluation Committee.
Yes, Chair. Kindly, with your permission, on the pending bills, we disclosed the correct figure. When you look at our report on page 3, we have talked of the the liabilities with the correct one as per the financial statements. And what is under the emphasis of matter, Chair, we just wanted to show the committee that the budget that had been allocated of 100 million vis-a-vis what was outstanding in 2023-2024 was not substantive enough to clear any bill. So what we did was just an analysis to show that the county had not done so much in terms of pending bills. Instead of the pending bills, the accounts payable reducing, they increased by 38 million. That is my clarification.
Yeah, I think we have said
Yeah.
that in many words.
Okay.
Now let's come to the software license.
And then the software license, Chair, can I read the paragraph the way it is or summarize?
At this rate, we'll leave this place at 6.
Okay.
The key thing here is that they issued these two LPOs without formal recommendation from the Tender Evaluation Committee.
Yes, Chair. The contract had expired on 6th of April 2023, so they extended it and paid the service provider 3 million via two LPOs, 66 and 76, without any evidence of approval from the committee, Tender Evaluation
Just on
Committee.
that point, because I'm struggling to find a response to that in your written responses, I'm not seeing it. Was there a formal recommendation from the Tender Evaluation Committee to extend this contract?
Through the Governor Chair, I would like to state as follows.
Don't read the entire thing.
I'm not reading.
I'm trying to be very
Yes, I'll be
very
quick,
quick.
Chair,
Yeah.
with all due respect to the Chair. It is true, first of all, the contract had expired. And at the time when the contract expired, there were issues of transfer, handing over the system ownership and operation to the county government because we did not have the servers and the capability to manage it. What is being cited as an extension of contract is actually not really an extension of contract because the contract was for development. What faced with the
Prof, sorry, let me. I don't like to stop professors in their tracks because
Yes.
you're the ones who teach us. I just want us to be specific to the matter.
Yeah.
In your view, there was no need for a recommendation from a Tender Evaluation Committee.
In my view, what we paid for was actually third-party costs that were being paid for us by the service provider. So third-party cost of hosting the system, Safaricom and telecoms, connectivities and all that. So there was really, it's like paying. Ordinarily would have been receiving that bill from the Safaricom and from hosting for us to be able to pay just like the way we pay Kenya Power.
So in your view, it was not a contract extension?
In my view, it was not a true contract extension.
OAG, in your view?
Chair, the contract had expired and they continued using the same service provider. Probably maybe we need a documentation from the service provider to prove to this committee that you offered services free of charge.
Or
without
maybe
any payment.
We should lock the two of you in a room until you agree on what the right interpretation ought to be.
Chair, maybe I can just say something. When we came in, we found that the service provider was Jambo Pay. And at the time, from the national government, there was communication that the national government was coming up with a system for collection of revenue that was going to be used by all counties. I even had a meeting with the ICT State Department on the same, telling them that our contract with the current service provider is coming to an end and we really need the system up and running quickly because we also are not happy with the system as is. But what happened is that the national government took their time and we found the contract has expired and the service provider shut down the system, which meant that we were not able to collect money at all. And for like a day or two, we were in a crisis. And so hard decisions had to be made. We sat down, we told them, first of all, we had challenges because they had also not implemented the project as per the contracts. So we were clear in our minds, we cannot continue to have them as our service providers. So we used that to tell them, you know, you people did not do 1, 2, 3, 4. They were supposed to create capacity in the team in the county so that we were able to take over the system. They didn't do it. So it's on that basis we agreed, okay, since they said we can reopen as you try and figure what to do, but we have payments, we have the third-party payments that must be made. So it's on that basis we agreed to pay even some previous payments that had not been paid. And from there, we started engaging on a process of procuring our own system. That also took a while because we were trying to get it right and seeing which one has worked where. And we had so many on the table, and we went around checking, and then finally we went through a tendering process. So we now have our own system, and we ensured that this time we entered into a contract that was not only binding, but one that took into consideration all the things we found that were gaps in the other system, because we did an audit of the previous system, and the auditor raised very many issues that he found to have been things that he found wanting in the previous system and previous contract. So we now have a new system, Chair, it has really helped us to streamline. We have rolled out all the revenue streams. At some points, we couldn't roll out all the revenue streams at once, so you'd find Jambo Pay was locked on certain revenue streams, but others continued until we were in that space where we felt it's now safe to finally shut it down and move on with our new system. So that is our story that we've gone through with the system, because it was a system that was even being abused. They could lock from a certain place. People tried to pay because we had gone completely cashless. They find it's not possible. And we also had to do a lot of restructuring, ensuring our revenue authority was properly staffed, the structures were right. We put in place a new board, and that has helped us. Our revenue has started going up in a very encouraging way, and we hope to do even better this financial year.
We'll come to it. We'll come to it. We have looked at your revenue streams and the growth of your own source revenue. We'll come to it,
yes, so
that we can tie what you have explained to even performance of revenue. But what is the requirement of Section 139(1)(2) of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act? That is the matter in question. Was this 3 million subject to Section 139(1)(2) of the Act? The Auditor General says yes. Professor says no. The Governor has given us a good story around it. So, OAG, National Treasury, they've stepped out, perhaps to avoid a protracted argument on this, because this is it's a matter of interpretation of the provisions of that Act. OAG, do you think you need to review the documents and all those circumstances for you to take a view, or you are of the firm view that this 3 million was subjected to the contractual obligations when a procurement process is completed?
Thank you, Chair. Even from the system, the IFMI system you've just opened, it was under contractual obligations, whereby we needed a tender evaluation report.
Fine. So you insist that Section 139(1)(2) ought to have been applied?
Yes, Chair.
The county did not apply Section 139(1)(2). It is upon us as a committee to make a recommendation, because I believe then the offences have been defined in the Act.
Yes, Chair.
Failure to comply with this is an offence, and I'm sure there's a manner in which it has been framed in the Act. As to the last paragraph on the procurement of the new system, we can deal with it when we come to the receiver of revenue report.
Noted, Chair.
So please, and again, maybe just to give guidance, on the last limb, keep that in view, because I am sure that implementation is not complete.
Chair.
Weaknesses in management of county vocational training centers. Your conclusion is that optimization of the benefits from VTCs to the public cannot be confirmed.
Yes, Chair.
So is this a question of effectiveness or a question of lawfulness?
It's both effectiveness, lawfulness, and effectiveness use of public resources, and equally internal controls, Chair, because there are three. One of them is accreditation, where we find that some of the courses that are being offered have not been accredited by TVETA, NEC, or CDAC. And also you have the issue of irregular hiring and also the competence gaps. So it's both lawfulness in use of public resources and internal controls. That's a governance issue, Chair.
So I can see the management comments. There are about 3 paragraphs to it. Honourable members, I want to propose that we will go through those management responses and see whether they satisfy the issues that have been raised by the Auditor General, failure to which we shall make recommendations, binding recommendations. Unless there's any other observation on that, we go to failure to establish sub-county level 4 hospital. Again, Auditor General, you indicated that Manyata sub-county did not have a level 4 hospital.
Yes, Chair, it doesn't have a level 4 hospital.
Is it a question of lawfulness or effectiveness?
It is lawfulness, Chair.
What is the basis in law?
Their own county, Embu County Health Service Act 2024, Chair, stipulates that there's in each and every sub-county, they're supposed to have a level 4 hospital.
Okay, Governor, what is your communication to the people of Manyata sub-county?
Yes, I would like to state the following. Number one, when we came in, we found that there was a new...
Governor, I'm sorry. Sorry, Governor. You have a very brief management response. Why don't you read it first?
Okay.
Yep.
In line with the audit observation, the county management has 3 sub-county level 4 hospitals, and none has been established in Manyata sub-county. The government is, however, at an advanced stage of upgrading 4 more health centers in sub-county hospitals, one of which is in Manyata sub-county. The Embu level 5 hospital is also domiciled in Manyata sub-county, which has all along served the residents in all health care matters. So what we did after we came in, we looked at the gaps that were there in terms of level 4 hospital, and we decided to upgrade two of our level 3 health centers into level 4 hospitals, one of which is in Manyata, and we've been doing some infrastructure upgrade so that we are able to ensure that it has all the necessary facilities for it to be, accredited as a fully fledged level 4 hospital. Then we got a new sub-county that was set up towards end of the last term, around 2022, and it is in an area that is very needy in terms of health support. They had no level 4 hospital at all, and they also were very far away from the level 5 hospital. So that's how we decided to put up a level 5 hospital in Gategi Health Center, which I think there's a matter just below it on the same. And so we are in the process of building that level 4 hospital. It's at advanced stage. We are just about to complete the maternal and child health, and then we can do a bit of upgrade on the wards and the other facilities. We already have an OPD that is fully operational. We started with that. Now we are doing the maternity side and the inpatient side.
Members, I think the lawfulness bit the auditor is citing is that there's an act of the county assembly.
Yes.
That makes an obligation to provide certain services.
Yes.
Makes an obligation to establish a county health management team, health quality and assurance unit, health facility improvement board, etc., etc.
Yes.
I think this is an observation that we might want to action to the county assembly, because it is their law that is being breached. And they are also the ones who provide budgets. Even if you are to do all those things, the budgets will come from the county assembly. So, honourable members, since it is a law of the county assembly that is breached, this could be one of those recommendations we are asking the county assembly to provide oversight and to demand an implementation status on the act that they passed. I think it would be impractical for us to direct you to go and build a level 4 hospital in Manyata, and yet this is a law that came from the county assembly, and they are the ones who would provide a budget. If they had provided a budget for it, and then it was taken to build the governor's house, that would be the concern of the Senate.
Yes.
So can we leave this for the county assembly to pursue as
Yes,
part of
but,
their primary
but
oversight mandate?
It's important, Chair. Once again, I state that we are actually in the process of upgrading one level 3 hospital into a level 4 in Manyata.
Yeah, that's
and
okay.
we have started works already.
That's okay, because
Yeah.
it is a county assembly law. They should hold you to account to it.
Yes.
And if you fail to do what the county assembly has recommended, then it should escalate to the Senate.
Sure.
Senator Sifuna?
You know, I feel for that county assembly, because they might also receive a letter on that law, but that is besides the point. I am a bit worried, Governor, when we have this conversation about you upgrading other facilities, and I know we'll get into it, Chair. I've seen a total of around 11 stalled projects, and I can count 8 of them are health facilities. What assurance can you give the people of Manyata that you will ever get their hospital to level 4 if these other ones?
But it's already work in progress. It's not like I'm saying I will. We are already doing it.
Governor, please, let's...
It's called Kairore Health Center.
Governor,
Yes.
let's talk to each other. That way...
You know, you asked me a question, so I was answering.
I had not finished.
All questions
okay.
are processed through the chair.
Okay, Chair.
And I'd indicated that this meeting will be as fast as we are brief and as long as we have a boss. Senator, I'm not pulling the rug under your feet.
You know, Chair, it is impossible for you to answer a question before it has been put. And the governor has reminded us that she was a member of parliament. Please just let her wait for the question mark. She will know
I am controlling.
Yeah, she will know
please
when I've
proceed.
finished my question. So the question was, what assurance can you give the people of Manyata that the things you're telling us here will actually happen in light of the conversation we're going to get into? You have 11 stalled projects, 8 of them I can count either dispensaries or other health facilities and morgues.
Chair, you know, he's talking about 11. I have completed 32. I am in the process of finishing 29 this financial year. So the 11 is what will remain to be done in the next financial year. But out of 85 health facilities, Senator, that I found incomplete, this is how I have done it so far, and I have the report here.
So let me.
I am willing to do that. And one of them.
Governor, sorry, a suggestion that will help all of us. Why don't we focus on the specific ones in this report, so that we are not discussing a hypothetical situation? And I want to plead with Senator Sifuna that let her not address the global, let the governor address the specifics. It might allow us to make better use of time, because the next query is stall construction of Gategi Health Center and idle health facilities buildings. So if you agree, we can have this conversation,
yes,
but by referring to the audit query before us. Fine. So on the level 4, we are challenging the county assembly to do some work on that. On Gategi Health Center, what is the...
Chair,
Auditor General, what was your concern, so that the governor can...
Chair, this particular health center had stalled. However, some documentation has been provided to us to show some amount which has been allocated aside for its completion.
Sorry, it should have been completed on 12th of June, 2025.
Yes, Chair.
Chair, let me respond to that. Actually, it had not stalled because of lack of finances. It had stalled because there was a concern about the kind of design that had been put up that did not take into consideration other user facilities that were critical. And so I said, stop this construction, relook at the design, come up with a design that is holistic, because we are building a level 4 hospital, and I wasn't comfortable with what was on the table. But I'm happy to report here now that we are actually at very advanced stage in completion of this facility. It's moving. I was there in December, just before Christmas. I saw it with my own eyes. And it is one of those projects that we are keen on making sure that we operationalize by the end of this financial year. if not early the
Governor,
next financial year.
And I'll keep stopping you when I feel you have answered the question and you're going overboard.
Yes.
Two things. What is the percentage of completion? And if it is not 100%, what is the completion date for this facility?
And Chair, maybe she can take both questions. You know, it is extremely worrying from my perspective. I just would want to understand the process of project conceptualization in Embu. That we are being told this is something that was awarded on 12th June 2024. This was a project you conceived as an administration. You did not inherit from your previous.
Yes,
we are being told, Governor, you spent 23 million already in this facility. You are the ones who conceived and designed it. Then at some point after 23 million, you say you are not happy with it.
No.
Take us through the process of conceptualizing projects in your county.
No, let me explain. Maybe I wasn't clear.